for our cause. And they were right, weren't they? We'd taken a leave of absence from our job description. Everything I've done as leader, every fight I've had, has been to reconnect us to that purpose. A different Labour Party, driven by your values, relentless in earning your vote. When you come from a working class background, you don't walk around problems. No, I've dragged this Labour Party back to service, and I will do exactly the same to politics. If politicians think they can carry on like this on my watch, they can forget it. I put expense-cheap politicians in jail before. I didn't care if they were Labour or Tory. So I say to Westminster, and I say to you, nobody will be above the law in a Britain that I lead. If you voted for the Conservatives and you're still waiting for the change you demanded, if you believe working people deserve a new foundation of security, with rising home ownership driven by a reformed planning system, a new national wealth fund investing in the jobs of the future, cleaner bills guaranteed by clean British energy, and technical excellence colleges training our kids in the skills we need. If you think work should pay fairly, that practices like zero-hour contracts and fire or rehire should be scrapped, and that we need a solution for sectors like care that isn't just exploiting immigrants on low pay. If you want lower migration and higher wages, then I say again, this is what a changed Labour Party will deliver. You won't get it from a Tory fifth term. Only a change of government can bring change to our country. We will serve you. Look around your country. We need you. Britain must come together. I believe in this country. I believe in its spirit. I believe in its people, in its businesses, in its communities. But most of all, I believe that if the British people see respect and service in their politics, then they will commit to the national mission of renewal. So if we are privileged enough to win the next election, we'll walk together with a new mission to get Britain building again, take back our streets, switch on great British energy, get the NHS back on its feet and tear down the barriers to opportunity. A Britain where hard work is rewarded, aspiration is back, communities have more control, politics serves your interests, and where together we can say, in a cry of defiance to those who write our country off, Britain can, Britain must, Britain will get its future back.
Please welcome European Director of Bloomberg, Konstantin Kotzias.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. As you just heard, my name is Konstantin Kotzias. I'm a European Director at Bloomberg, and we're delighted to be supporting the Winter Business Conference and to be joined by so many shadow cabinet ministers, policymakers and senior business leaders from across the UK. And what a setting here at the Oval Cricket Ground. And as it's my job, I couldn't resist the cricket analogy, to open the batting for the leader of the Labour Party, Sir Keir Starmer. And having just seen the England team dazzle against India in the cricket, we're all hoping Sir Keir will continue his Bazball approach to business, positive, engaged and delivering results. Look, at Bloomberg, we firmly believe in the importance of bringing business and policymakers together to facilitate dialogue on the issues that matter, and it's been a super productive morning of discussion and debate, so thank you for that. More dialogue between our politicians and business leaders can only be a good thing, and having facilitated some of those discussions at Bloomberg, we're proud to be a part of that. This conference comes at a critical time. Our country, as we've been hearing this morning, faces a tough set of economic challenges: inflation, interest rates, supply chain squeezes and the ongoing energy uncertainty. But despite all of this, one thing that is absolutely clear is the critical role business must play on the UK growth agenda. After all, it's business, not government, that will provide the jobs, growth, goods and services to help drive our economy. I've seen at first hand the hard work Keir and the Shadow Cabinet have put into their engagement, and I'm impressed with the relationship the party continues to build with business. It's so important. Thank you to all of the Shadow Labour Party, Sir Keir Starmer. Great to see you. Good luck with the speech. Thanks again. Take care. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Con, for those words. Thank you for all your support and your friendship now over many years. And can I start by thanking Bloomberg for sponsoring this event. It is really great to be here. Thank you all for coming, for being in this hall with us. And what an impressive room this is. A testament, I think, to the changes we've made over the last 4 years. I mean, just for a moment, if you'll indulge me, I'd like you all to cast your mind back to 2019. Let's imagine that you were invited to an event like this, a Labour business conference, before any of the changes to our party had taken place. The question is, would you go? Would you, as a wealth creator, feel that your ambition, the vital role you play in our economy, commanded the respect it deserves? Now, don't worry, they're called rhetorical questions for a reason. And this isn't an audience participation event, so I'm looking around the room, put your glitter away. But doesn't that thought just show the scale of the journey that we've been on? The depth of the changes we've made to transform the Labour Party's relationship with business. It's something that I take immense pride in. This has always been one of the key tasks in my project to return Labour to the service of working people. Because we know that in the real world, working people want success as well as support. They want a government capable of matching their aspirations, understand completely that private enterprise is how we pay our way in the world. So all the hard work that's taken us to this point, it's vindication, a recognition of that guiding belief, not just that Labour could be the party of business, that Labour should be the party of business, that now also, 4 years on, Labour is the party of business. But this project has to be more ambitious than changing the culture of my party. You've heard me say many, many times over the last 4 years, I want a partnership with business. But that word, partnership, has to express more than just a good relationship. Frankly, that should be par for the course. So look, everything we do is driven by a determination to provide the businesses, communities and people of this nation with the conditions to succeed, to set a direction. 5 national missions the whole country can get behind, and then bring people together to achieve them. That's the job of government, as I see it, an understanding that we serve the country while you drive it forward. That is what national renewal means. And I know you stand ready to join us. I also know that the caricature that British business only serves the shareholder interest is lazy and out of date. In fact, one of the things I draw great hope from is the determination I see from the countless business leaders I've met to serve the national interest. A pride not just in the contribution you already make, but what else you could achieve if you had a government that matched your ambition. That's why, as we've drawn up our plans for Britain, we haven't just opened our doors. We've taken decisions together as equal partners in the venture of national renewal. Your fingerprints on every one of our 5 missions, But nonetheless, for this partnership to endure, it's not enough just to see the country and its challenges through the same eyes. We have to start getting things done. And that will mean new expectations on your business. Because if we want a Britain where every worker enjoys dignity at work, if we want a country that invests in its infrastructure and its people, if we want a Britain where wealth creation comes from every community, then that can't come from a change of government alone. We all have to change, business included. So look, this is what this document that we're launching today represents. A Labour plan for business, a partnership for growth, with a clearly defined and measurable goal, the mission, that we can achieve the highest sustained growth in the G7. A target we set out not because it's easy, I think we can dispense with that accusation, but precisely because it is hard, and because we want everyone involved to understand the destination. And look, we actively want our progress to be tracked. We embrace the harsh light of accountability. This is how you learn and adapt when faced with a long-term challenge. It's also a plan that comes with a clear purpose, because we aren't agnostic about the sort of growth we want. Our mission commits us to raising the living standards of working people in every community. And that means we'll have to do the hard yards, roll up our sleeves, get underneath the bonnet and fix the unprecedented stagnation in British productivity. Seriously, I don't think you can overstate what the British people have been through in the last 14 years. It's not just the permanent cycle of crisis. There is something much more fundamentally broken in the way this country creates wealth. I mean, a decade of lost wage growth, halfway down the road to another one. An economy with weak foundations that, even in the calmer moments, can't provide the security working people need to look forward. Something which doesn't just hold back our potential, but also rips up the contract, the values that keep our country together. A sense that if you work hard and play by the rules, you will have a chance in Britain. The future will be better for your children. That's why we need nothing less than a decade of national renewal. Each one of those words is important. Decade, because frankly, that is how long it may take. National, because we need the contribution of every citizen in this country. And renewal, because this can't be done with a few fixes, a policy tweak here and there. We need to go beyond the sticking plasters, find the long-term cure that will allow us to face the future. That's why today we launch this new plan, this new purpose, this new partnership, with 5 priorities we can unite behind, 5 steps we can take together to begin our walk towards a Britain with its future back. Step 1, we'll get Britain building again. We'll take on the blockers that hold a veto over British aspiration. Rip out the red tape in our planning system that stops you building the future Britain needs. Take the tough decisions that will get the infrastructure you need. The warehouses, grid connections, roads, tunnels, labs, built more quickly and at a better price. We will also build 1.5 million new homes for your workers. And with that, a rich prize for your business. A path to a stronger skills base. A happier workforce. More dynamism. More demand. More growth. Step 2. We'll kickstart a skills revolution, because a future must be trained as well as built. Now, you told us the system doesn't work. There's not enough coordination, too much chasing the ball, nobody thinking about the skills we need tomorrow. And we've listened. That's why we'll set up a new national body, Skills England. You told us the apprenticeship levy is too inflexible, won't let you train your own workforce in the way that you need. And we listened. That's why we'll create a more flexible growth and skills levy instead. But as with any partnership, there is also challenge. Because for years I've heard businesses complain about the skills system, about the quality of the courses at their local colleges. So we're giving you the tools to do something about it. That's what our technical excellent colleges are all about. So I say in all seriousness, get into them, help design the courses, drive up the standards, and in doing so, help ground our education system more firmly, not just in young people's aspirations, not just in the needs of your business, but also in the pride, the pull of the badge on the shirt, the ambition you feel when building a lasting legacy for your own community. Step 3. We'll make work pay. 0-hour contracts scrapped. Fire and rehire finished. A genuine living wage. And I want to be crystal clear about this. We are going to level up workers' rights in a way that's not been attempted for decades. And that may not please everyone in the room or the wider business community. But nobody can doubt that our labour market is at the heart of our challenges on productivity. A clear reason why the wealth we create fails to generate economic security. That's not just an argument about social justice. It's also about growth. Because the growth we need cannot come from driving down the terms and conditions of the British people. That is not a pathway to sustained productivity improvement. In fact, if anything, it distorts our economy with perverse incentives on things like investment in technology. I accept this may be a challenge for some businesses, but we will work with you at every stage of rolling our reforms out. And we will back you with a different deal. We will cut NHS waiting lists to make your workforce healthier. We will put a plan in place to make it more highly skilled. We will provide better mental health access, more affordable housing. This is a different model, pro-worker and pro-business. Step 4. We'll back you with the tools to transform the role of investment in our economy. A new industrial strategy that can maximise our distinctive strengths. Life sciences, digital technology, financial services, the creative industries, car manufacturing, clean power. A new national wealth fund ready to work hand in glove with you to rebuild our country, with public investment crowding in many multiples of private investment, sharing both risk and reward by giving the British people a stake. And finally, step 5. In some ways, the most important step of all. The foundation it all rests upon. A commitment to always put economic stability first. Now, Rachel spelt this out very clearly this morning. We cannot and we will not allow public spending needs, however important, to threaten the stability of our finances. We have seen where that leads under this government with total clarity. It is the definition of a false economy, and working people pay the price. But stability, as you've told us time and time again, is not just an exercise in damage control, it's also an opportunity. I go back to what I said a few moments ago. Our job is to provide you with the conditions to succeed. And when you invest in your business, you invest in this country. So we want a competitive tax regime for business investment. That's why we've backed permanent full expensing. But we also know that this regime needs to be stable. In this Parliament alone, we've had a new headline corporation tax in 2021, 2022 twice, and then in 2023, yet more changes to the regime with the end of the super deduction. In fact, all told, there have been 26 changes to corporation tax since 2019. I think that's more changes than Chancellors, although it's hard to keep up. I was at an event the other day where the CEOs were actually vying as to who'd had the most changes of minister over the last few years. But seriously, you know this chaos has a cost. You know that instability has a chilling effect on business investment. Time and again, you tell me it's the chopping and the changing, the sticking plaster politics, the growing concern that our government will rip up its international commitments that's holding back investment in our country. So that's why we've committed today to a stable corporation tax rate. No changes. And so, for the whole of the next Parliament, with Labour, you will know exactly the return on your investment in this country. Because at the end of the day, when the big questions that echo around rooms like this are raised, where does our money go? Where do our jobs go? Where does our investment in a better future go? I want the answer that comes back to be a resounding, why not Britain? A country building again, growing again, believing again that hard work will be rewarded, aspiration will be backed, working people can be successful, because we have a long-term plan to get Britain's future back. A partnership for growth. British business driving our country forward with a Labour Party on your side, walking together with you towards a decade of national renewal. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I think
bad. Well, look, this way. Very good now. Good. Good. Yeah. So I'm Paula Reynolds, and I chair